cyclists don't like motorbike riders. Sumisingit sa bike lanes, masyadong mabilis, mausok yung sasakyan, maingay, at sila pa yung galit kapag nakadisgrasya. That's a general statement you get when you see rants from fellow bikers or your friends who ride a bicycle in the city. And of course, not everyone who drives a motorcycle is like that. However, I should say na as a bike commuter, I can relate to this feeling from time to time. Pero alam nyo, recently, I drove an electric scooter in the city. And after a month of using it, I should say na I kinda get or I now have a perspective of motorbike riders on our roads. Let me share my experience and reflections as a motorista in two wheels. This is Buji Babiera and you are listening to Tambike Session, an anima podcast. I ride a motorbike and for the longest time, iniiwasan ko talaga mag-drive sa Metro Manila or in the big cities. Sa probinsya, very confident ako na mag-drive ng two wheels. Nagsimula ako sa Aklan because that's the most convenient mode of transport kapag nasa baryo ka. Doon kasi yung hometown ko eh. Tapos when I started traveling sa mga probinsya and in Southeast Asia, go-to ko talaga as a way of moving ay ang motorbikes. Pero kapag nasa Southeast Asia ako, hindi rin ako nagdadrive sa mga big cities. Usually sa mga provinces talaga. One of the first things na I ask kapag nagta-travel ako or nasa isang tourist destination ay, meron ba akong marerentahang motor? Pero kapag sa city, hard pass talaga ako kasi natatakot ako na magdadrive ako ng motorbike kasabay yung mga speeding cars, yung mga truck, tsaka pati na rin yung mga nagmomotor. At dito sa Pilipinas, as we all know, hindi naman to linghid sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan, hindi lahat ng nagmamaneho ay maayos. So there's really a risk of getting into danger. Not until recently na I had this courage of riding a motorbike sa cities of Metro Manila. All thanks to cycling. Sobrang pasasalamat ko talaga kasi nagkaroon ako ng more courage to take on the challenge of riding a motorbike in the city. Well, to be fair, technically, hindi motorbike yung sinakyan ko, but it's an electric scooter. But under its category sa LTO, yung ginagamit kong sasakyan ay parehas lang with the motorbike. So, kailangan ko ng lisensya, na yung lisensya for for driving a motorbike. Meron ding registration yung sasakyan, hindi ako pwede sa bike lane, and you can speed up to 100 kilometers per hour. Ganun siya kabilis. So, para talaga siyang motor na. Yung pagkakaiba lang ng electric scooter sa regular motorbike ay walang usok, tsaka hindi less yung ingay niya. Parang walang ingay at all eh. So, nung nalaman ko na parang, kasi it's for work eh. Kailangan kong trabaho yung pag-ride ko ng electric scooter. So, naisip ko, okay, if I get to ride an electric scooter now, I'll take this as an opportunity to get to know more about the perspective or the struggles of the motorbike riders in Metro Manila. Parang gusto kong malaman or gusto kong masagot yung mga tanong kahit na madami nang nag-share sa akin ito. Pero at least ito, own experience ko na kung bakit ba sumisingit sa bike lane yung mga motorbike riders, why are they speeding up to dangerous levels or above speed limits sa ating mga cities, kamusta yung parking situation nila, at madami pang tanong. And in that time na nag-electric scooter ako, I believe nasagot ko yung ilan doon. Of course, a little more than a month of riding a motorbike in Metro Manila won't really get to the top or won't really get to top the experience of more experienced riders. Pero I would say na ang dami ko talagang natutunan. So yung unang-unang tanong na gusto kong sagutin is, bakit ba popular ang motorbike as a mode of transport in Metro Manila? Dati hindi ko gets. Like, I drive a car for more than a decade now. And sabi ko, oh, if I'm going to purchase another vehicle, it could be a car. Until the pandemic happened na nagbike na ako. Pero sabi ko, motor, hard pass ako dyan talaga. Hindi mo ako mapapagmotor dito sa city natin. Pero ngayon, nagets ko na kung bakit ang daming bumibili ng motorbike or maski nga electric scooter eh. Or electric bike. Or electric trike. Or electric quad bike. Something like that. Or e-quad, sorry. That's the term. E-quads. I get it now because unang-una, it's fast. Mabilis siya. Like yung motor, kaya niyang mag 100 kph. 120, well, yung mga big bikes nga mas mabilis pa, di ba? Mabilis talaga siya. So, it's fast for you to travel from one place to another. Like, kapag nagmomotor ako from Manila to Makati, from Sampaloc to Ayala, that's around 11 kilometers. Kaya siya in 25 minutes. So, kung walang traffic, I think it can pwede mga 22 minutes, 20 minutes pa nga eh. So, I get it. So, people buy motorbikes because it's fast. Tapos, pwede ka pang, alam mo yun, mag-insert sa traffic. Parang, pag may mga small spaces, just like a bicycle, pwede kang sumingit-singit dyan and mas mag-advance yung ano mo, yung pwesto mo sa kalsada. Halimbawa, traffic light, 'di ba? If naka-car ka, hindi ka talaga, dun ka lang talaga dun sa, for example, stuck ka after siguro mga 10 cars, dun ka lang talaga. Dahil wala ka ng space para mag-move eh. Unlike kapag motorbike, kaya mong sumingit in between bigger vehicles and may chance na mapunta ka talaga sa harapan. So yun, definitely, mas mabilis ka. More than, four-wheel drivers. Space saver din siya kasi maliit. Hindi ka na, hindi ko na feel na nagigilty ako na I am traffic. Pangalawa, I guess, bakit siya popular? Dahil mas mura yung maintenance niya compared with the car. And, mas mura yung mga parts just in case, for example, mabutasan ka ng gulong or kapag may nasira na part ng engine, it's way cheaper than a four-wheel drive. Mas mura din yung pag-consume ng gasoline and definitely easier parking. Well, parang in my experience, it's not as easy as a bicycle, pero since maliit yung space na kinokonsume niya, ang daming space na pwede mong pagparkingan ng motor. So, compared with a car, mas madali yung parking niya kasi mas maliit siya. Pero mas madali pa rin yung parking ng bisikleta kesa sa motor. The difference lang is, mas madaling, mas prone to theft ang bicycle than a motorbike. So, I get it. Bakit parang, okay, mas secure ako if I drive a motorbike than ride a bicycle. And mas madali ako makakapag-park. Kasi that also consumes your time eh. Kapag pupunta ka sa destination mo na, ayaw nga, no, walang parking. So, I need to find more. Siguro mga 10 minutes maghanap ka. And yun, nakakatakaw siya ng oras. The second question that I want to answer is there discrimination? Alam mo, pag namimisikleta ako or kapag nagdadrive ako ng kotse, lagi kong napapansin or nakikita na hinaharang yung mga motorbike riders. And for some reason, yung binubuksan nila yung trunk nila, tapos magpapakita sila ng mga papel. That's what I observe. Basta lagi silang hinaharang. Parang may checkpoint lagi for motorbike riders. So iniisip ko at the back of my mind, meron bang discrimination? Bakit sila laging pinapahinto? I think, uh, merong discrimination in terms of when I ask, tinanong ko kasi yung ano yung isang officer dati, parang bakit motor yung hinaharang ninyo? And they say, madami daw kasing nagmomotor na walang lisensya, uh, which can be true, which is true. Marami akong experiences na uh, nakasagi yung motorbike rider, tas wala pala siyang lisensya. So, yun daw yung hinaharang nila. And, yun nga, parang sometimes daw may mga crime-related yung yung paghaharang sa mga motorbike riders. Pero at the back of my mind, marami rin namang nagdadrive ng kotse na walang lisensya. Bakit hindi sila hinaharang? Madami din namang mga kriminal na nagtatago sa four wheels. Bakit hindi yun nahaharang? So, I can sense na, wow, bakit ganito yung yung system natin? Bakit nitpicking na parang porket ba nakamotor, pwede ng kriminal? Or meron din ako natanungan na officer before sabi niya, ang hirap daw kasing magharang ng four wheels, magkokos ng traffic. So, I don't know, at least for me, find a better way of finding culprits, find a better way of finding criminals than just nitpicking or having this kind of discriminating scheme na motorbike riders lang yung pinipili ninyo. Another way of discrimination. Nadi-discriminate ba ang motorbike kapag nasa kalsada? I guess just like bicycles or just like cyclists, nabubuli pa rin yung mga mas maliliit na vehicles. I experience a time na grabe talagang mangkat yung yung isang SUV. Kahit nakamotor ako kasi alam niya na takot ako as a lesser form of vehicle on the road, alam niya na mas mag-a-adjust ako sa kanya. Dahil siguro nagmamadali siya, I don't know, hindi niya ako nakita. Pero alam niya na dahil mas maliit ako, syempre mas natatakot ako for my life. So mas mag-iingat ako more than him. So yun. Same lang to with how motorbikes can easily cut cyclists. Kasi, yun nga, mas takot yung more vulnerable road user on the road. Next question is, why are they entering bike lanes? Ito very controversial kasi ang dami nagagalit na siklista na pumapasok yung mga motorbike riders sa bike lane. And ako personally, minsan sometimes I get so frustrated na kumakausap ako ng driver talaga na parang, kuya naman, bakit ka nasa bike lane? May isa akong experience recently nang babike ako galing akong Rizal sa C5 to Nasa C5 ako, meron talagang pumasok, kumat siya na bike lane. I don't know, he's not using his side mirror, pero pumasok talaga siya and muntik na niya akong mabangga. Wala man lang sorry na akong natanggap from that rider. Parang, kuya, muntik na akong sumemplang Pero anyway, on my perspective, driving an electric scooter, bakit ba pumapasok ang motorbike? It is because if there's an opportunity to be ahead, if there's an opportunity to be fast, human nature, people will take it. So kapag may open na kalsada, pwede akong pumasok, go, sisingit ako dyan. Kasi gusto ko nang umuwi. Gusto ko nang makarating sa destination ko ng mas mabilis. Sayang naman yung kalsada, wala naman gumagamit. Boom, pasok ako. Just the same as kung nakikita nyo kung bakit pati minsan 'di ba yung mga motor, pumapasok sila sa pedestrian lane kasi makikita nila na may opportunity na pumasok. Tama ba 'yon? Justified ba 'yon? Of course hindi. Mali 'yon. Maling-mali talaga 'yon. Pero wala merong opportunity so they'll take it. So how do we solve this problem? By road design. Kailangan maayos yung road design mo na hindi talaga sila makakapasok. And of course, enforcement. Kaya ako naniniwala talaga ako na enforcement goes hand in hand with discipline and road design. So kung maayos yung road design mo, tapos kung masisita mo yung mga pasaway na mga tao, and of course, kung disiplinado yung rider, magkakaroon tayo ng mas maayos na system on our roads. Kaya, shout out dyan. Ibalik na natin ang NCAP. Ibalik na natin ang no contact apprehension policy. Kasi, our officers can do a little. Sobrang konti lang nila para manita, para mag-ticket, and let's face it, yung iba, 'di ba, nagpapabayad. Unfortunately, maingay ba ang motor? That's the next question. Luckily, I am using an electric scooter, so sobrang hina lang ng tunog niya. I can't answer that question kung bakit yung ibang motorbike riders nagdadagdag pa sila ng device para mas malakas yung tunog ng motor nila. Alam mo yun, yung mga nag-e-enhance ng mga tambucho nila para mag brum brum brum. You get it, right? Hindi ko alam kung ba't nila ginagawa yun. Feeling nila cool sila kapag ginagawa nila yun. But I don't know. It's just, noise pollution, I would say. Next question, is it safe? Safe ba magmotor sa Metro Manila? Yan talaga yung main concern ko even before. Safe kaya ako nakakapagmaneho? Alam mo, when I was driving the electric scooter, lalo na sa EDSA, sinasabi ko to sa mga friends ko, sa mga nagtatanong sa akin, personally, sabi ko, first time ko ulit magdasal ng malakas sa EDSA. Like, sinasabi ko talaga nagdadasal ako habang hawak ko yung handlebar nung electric scooter na sana hindi ako mamatay today, Lord, Lord, tulungan mo ako. Bakit? Kasi, sanay ako as a cyclist, 'di ba, na nasa gilid ka, nandun ka sa bike lane, you feel like you have this protective shield kasi nasa bike lane ka. So, okay yun sa akin. Then, pag nakamotor naman ako, hindi ako pwede dun sa bike lane kasi nga I'm speeding more than 25 kilometers per hour. Pwede rin naman ako sa gilid. Pero, it's just frustrating kasi mabilis yung motor, 'di ba? Tapos, biglang makikita mo may nakaharang na taxi dun sa mga, halimbawa for example sa may Cubao area, nakaharang na taxi dun sa may mga bus stations, may nakaharang na jeepney, merong mga naka-hazard na private vehicles. So, ang option ko is I go to the middle lanes kung saan nandun yung mas mabibilis na sasakyan. And sometimes, since pwede naman ako dun sa underpass, I take the underpass. Kasi if you go to the ano, to the normal lane or kung sa taas ka, masa-stuck ka with the stoplight. So I'd go to the underpasses and grabe yung bilis na pwede kang magmabagal. I tried it once na naging mabagal ako sa EDSA. But nakaka-pressure kasi binubusinahan ka ng mga tao sa likod. So, go, mabilis ka. Tapos mabilis ako na nagmomotor and I just pray na sana hindi ako maaksidente. Going back, is it safe? I would like to reiterate na, we have to take note na speed kills and design matters. So, kagaya nung sabi ko, 'di ba, binubusinahan ako sa likod. Hindi naman ako nag-overspeed. I take note of my speed limits. Pero ano talaga sometimes I really want to be slower just to make sure that I'm safe, na I don't want to maximize the speed limit. Pero grabe talaga maka-pressure yung mga ibang motorista. Safe naman siya kung safe. Safe naman siya kung safe. Yun nga lang, natatakot lang ako in terms of speeding up. If you know how to ride a motorbike well, you do well. Okay naman siya. Nakakatakot lang talaga kapag mas mabibilis yung mga nasa gilid mo. Pag nasa startle ka, good thing a motorbike or an electric scooter is kinda heavy na hindi ka basta-basta masisway kapag mayroong mabilis na dumadaan sa gilid mo. Let's go to the next question. What do you think about cyclists? As an electric scooter, as an electric scooter rider or someone who drives like with the same category as a motorbike, ako conscious ako when I'm driving. All because, all because I've been in the position of the cyclist. Pero now that I look at it on their perspective ng mga nagbomotor, there's a chance na they'd probably consider or take it na parang, there's just another person on two wheels na pwede kong i-overtake basta-basta. They won't consider na kapag may sobrang mabilis sa gilid nila ng isang bisikleta, isang cyclist, madali lang sumemplang yung mga yon. Kasi nga, like what I said, yung motor kasi mabigat yung sasakyan mo eh. So kapag merong mabilis sa gilid mo, medyo kaya mong i-manage yung balance mo. Unlike kapag namimisikleta ka, kapag may mabilis sa gilid mo, ang hirap i-manage yung balance kasi ah, magaan lang yung vehicle na ginagamit mo and sobrang daling ma-sway down at sumemplang yung siklista. I guess this is the last question uh, na people ask me and that I prepared for this podcast episode. Do you think na need ng separate lane sa kalsada ang motor? Need din ba to mix it with cyclist? I think no need for a separate lane kasi the speed is just the same. Yung speed ng kotse and speed ng isang motorbike, ng isang electric scooter can be similar with each other. Lalo na parang it can reach the maximum speed limits ng ating mga kalsada. So, no need na to, to mix it. And of course, they are more vulnerable. Pero they are more vulnerable than people on cars eh. Motorbikers are more vulnerable than drivers ng four wheels. Kaya para sa akin, dapat nag-a-adjust yung mga taong may more wheels on the road. And kasi sila yung mas makakasakit ng tao. So we have to be mindful of how we drive kasi merong mas vulnerable sa atin on the road. If mixing naman with cyclist, I'm still not in favor with it kasi yung cyclist, they're way slower than motorbikes and cars. And most of the time, they can't maintain the speed ng isang motorista. Mas may chance sila na masaktan. So, dapat pag 25 kph and below yung ginagamit mong vehicle, I'd say dun ka sa separate lane. Dun ka sa bike lane. And yeah, I hope that gets to shed a light to non-motorbike riders na siklista or pedestrians or anyone or drivers kung ano yung perspective ng taong nagmomotor. Riding a motorbike or scooter in the city, I should say, it's really, really cool. And isa pa pala, dagdag ko, kaya ang difference ng pagbabike at pagmomotor, alam mo kahit naka-sweater ako, kahit naka-jacket ako, hindi ako pinagpapawisan. Kasi nga siguro mas mabilis. Kaya, pwede kang it's easier to make japorm, sandaling pumorma na naka-e-scooter. So, it's really, really cool. Medyo na ano lang ako sa yung helmet ng motor. Ah, nung una medyo iffy lang ako eh kasi it's so big or sometimes kapag nangat yung ulo mo ang hirap kamutin. Parang ganon. It's just medyo iffy lang ako at first pero eventually nakasanayan ko na rin. But I would say riding a motorbike or scooter, it really really looks cool. It's definitely faster pero I'd prefer yung electric scooters more than yung gasoline type na motorbikes. Kasi hindi maingay yun eh, tsaka hindi mausok, you're helping the environment and at the same time, hindi ka dumadagdag sa noise pollution. I hope I get to have more time with it on the road. Gusto kong mas madami yung ah gamit ko ng electric scooter. Sobrang busy na rin kasi, kaya bira lang din nakakaalis. I take my electric scooter if it's longer distances. Well, I also have an e-bike, but definitely way faster ang electric scooter than e-bikes. Pero among all of these things, mas gusto ko pa rin talaga mag-bike, mamisikleta. Kasi I get to have this boost of happiness and for fitness na rin. Kapag naka e-scooter ka kasi or naka-motor ka kasi, nakaupo ka lang eh. Parang walang movement na nagaganap or minimal lang yung movement na nagaganap. But I have to admit na ang hirap na talaga mag-bike ngayon sa city because of the difficult situations of our traffic na sana maging better if we have better and convenient infrastructure. I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa aking story time. This has been Buji Baviera. Magkwentuhan ulit tayo sa susunod na episode ng Tambay Session. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig.